Welcome, everyone, to our first podcast.
Our first.
Well, we've recorded this twice. Well, we've recorded 3. Welcome to our podcast, Closing Time with Zoe and Scott.
Why you get to go first?
This podcast is largely going to be centered around real estate because that's what both of us do and that's how we know each other. But it'll also involve things that are just like St. Louis related, us personal related, things of that nature. Not too personal.
Don't want to get too personal.
Some of them we're going to be sitting here like this, and others we're going to be traveling, showing you parts of St. Louis or doing things. That's probably what our next solo one will be. So welcome to Closing Time. Scott, thanks for joining me.
Hey.
Today we're just mostly going to talk about us as real estate agents, how we got into business, how we came to know each other, and things of that nature. You can go first since you've been in it longer.
I can go first.
Yeah, what did you do before real estate?
I've been in sales forever. I've been licensed for about 12 years and got licensed in 2012, so going on 13 years, and was in sales forever way before that. Just have always enjoyed that part of it.
What kind of sales have you done?
Oh, wow. I worked with a lot of car dealerships and body shops and truck shops and stuff, so I did a lot of mechanical, nuts and bolts, chemicals, stuff like that. So always just finding stuff for people. If they needed things, then they came to me and had me find them. So just went around town. I had all these clients, all these customers all over town, went to all these shops. Called on these people every week. And if they needed stuff, they'd call me. If not, I'd just go and see them. Certain clients that I'd see once a week, twice a week, or every other week.
On a rotation?
Whatever, yeah, on a rotation. So it was just kind of fun.
Why'd you leave?
I don't know, I was looking for a change. A friend of mine introduced me to somebody who had a real estate team. We went to her house and we're hanging out, and she approached me and thought that I would be good at real estate. And I was kind of in the back of my head looking for a little bit of a change.
Were you immediately like, yes, I will do that, or did you kind of have to?
She wanted me as a buyer's agent. I didn't even know what that meant.
Okay, sure.
I'm like, I'm going to buy? What am I going to buy? And because I didn't know that you could, like, in her office, she had buyer's agents and she had...
yeah, some people specialize in either.
Listing agents, and that's how she did that. I thought, what the heck? Let's give it a shot. And I talked to my wife, and she thought that I'd be good at it. And I, like I said, we're kind of looking for a bit of a change. And I was doing really well at my job. I was making great money.
Yeah, was your other job solely commissions based, or did you have salary and commission?
Strictly commission.
Oh, that's good that you went from one commission job to the next.
Strictly commission, so I knew how it worked. So I thought, what the heck, at 45 years old, let's just completely shake things up. I gave it a shot, and within 6 months, I was doing that and doing this part-time. And within 6 months, I thought, I think I can actually make this fly. Dumped the other job and jumped into this both feet full-time. And that's been almost 13 years.
That's a long time. I was going to make an old joke, but I can't.
Wow.
It's okay. People think that I'm 12 selling houses, so. What was I going to ask you? I don't even remember.
Don't know. So, no, I've been doing it for almost 13 years, and some days I miss the old job, and other days I'm like, this is a blast.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, if you're still. I mean, obviously, I feel like you wouldn't be in this industry if you didn't still want to be.
No, I have met some awesome people, so that's what kind of keeps it fun. So, and the best part is I am my own boss, and I can make my own hours.
Yeah, I love that.
And
do you ever find that challenging?
Yeah, because the worst part is I'm my own boss and I can make my own hours.
Yeah, it's really nice. I was telling Andrew about this the other day. I'm very self-motivated. We've talked about this a lot. It's part of the reason why I like real estate and why I like being my own boss, because as soon as I feel like someone is watching me or telling me what to do, I shut down. But when it's just me, I'm like, go, go, go. But even then, I will have worked like maybe an 8 to 10 hour day. And then I come home and I want to do something for myself, but I'm like, but I could be working more. So I feel guilty about that. That's the other part of having your own schedule that drives me a little bit crazy.
You'll get over that.
I want to be over it right now. I feel really guilty when I'm not working.
I'm the best 10 to 2 guy you'll ever meet, and that's with lunch and a nap. Like I say, the best part is I'm my own boss, I make my own hours, and the worst part is I'm my own boss and I make my own hours. So you're brand new. So you're brand new at it, pretty much. So pushing 2 years.
2 years in February.
So we'll call it fresh out of school.
Yeah.
So what did you study in school? That kind of.
I studied biomedical engineering and chemical engineering.
So that plays right into.
No, I didn't even study that. I wanted to sound smart.
Oh.
My sister and brother-in-law did, though.
But you studied some kind of language.
Yes, I was communication disorders, which a lot of people think that means communications. Not the same thing. I was communication disorders, so speech and language and the way people, disorders, so people who have disordered speech or language. So some people who have strokes might need help regaining function of their oral mechanisms, or little kids who are growing up and, the stereotypical one is like have a lisp or like
Right.
say R's wrong, correcting
Right.
their speech to be more intelligible. But I also, in that undergrad, studied audiology, which is also goes with language because it's been a long, it's only been 2 years and it's been a long time since I've studied this. But like people with cochlear implants or
Right.
who have hearing loss, like I learned about all that stuff too. It really has nothing to do with
Absolutely nothing.
with real estate
No.
at all, actually, really. I mean, I learned how to communicate with people effectively, which is helpful, but
Sure.
you learn that in a lot of majors, not
Yeah.
just
Right.
communication disorders. So I always knew that I wanted to do something business related, and I'm a very creative person, but I kind of toddled between business and more of a school education type of career.
Yeah.
My mom has been in the education system for most of my life, and so she was like, don't come into this. But I had looked into speech language pathology with her, and I think it's all very interesting and it fit me well. I work great with kids, but I just wasn't motivated to do it every single day.
Right.
And it was very repetitive, which is great for some people, but I need change a lot. My grandparents were real estate agents, as well as my favorite high school teacher. That was something that I always thought about, but I had no idea what it entailed. So I didn't want to just jump into that and then not go to college. I really wanted to go to college. I would say probably my junior year of college, I was like, oh, I'm getting my real estate license. Like everyone in my sorority knew that was my post-grad plans, was to go get my real estate license.
Really?
But at that point, I was halfway through my junior year, so I was like,
You gotta finish.
I need to finish.
Yeah.
And I loved the school I went to, and I learned a lot of other valuable things, not just with obviously related to my major. But so I moved to St. Louis right afterwards. I did practice with my major. I worked at an autism clinic. There was like, they did OT, ABA, which OT is occupational therapy. They did speech. ABA is applied behavioral analysis. So it was very rewarding, but it really solidified that it was not for me.
Right.
So I decided to quit that job. I nannied for the time being while I got my license and then dove right in. And it was hard, but it's good now. Well, I mean, it's still hard sometimes,
Right.
but it's a lot better now.
That is a stretch.
Yeah, I just really rambled. I can't really breathe.
That was a lot. Not even.
It was one of those things where it's like, I could have this life or I could have that life. Which one do I pick? And I picked the safer option to start.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I hated it. So I chose the scarier option.
Both are rewarding differently.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause this
For
is-
sure.
This is definitely rewarding.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I mean, there's a
helping
reason why I didn't go into like a magazine sales or
Yeah.
I don't know, something that feels less. Not to. I don't know if anyone watching is
Sorry
selling
for all you
magazines.
magazine salesmen
Not
out
that that's
there.
a bad job, but
Yeah.
I wanted to do something that felt
sure it's
like I was
rewarding.
making a direct impact
Right.
in someone's life, and obviously buying or selling a home is major.
Yep, that's what I've always liked about it too. Is like in my other sales job, it's like I had a bunch of customers that always called me the concierge because if you needed something, you called Scott. That's to this day, that's just the way it is. So I've always been that guy to go to. So I've always been able to find stuff. That's I like doing that. And that's the rewarding part is being able to help people find that house.
And seeing people on closing days just.
Yes.
Even for proper, like obviously not every single sale is sunshine and rainbows. Some people are selling a loved one's house, but even
Right.
those ones, seeing relief.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really cool at being at the closing table
Yep.
with your people.
Yeah, working one right now. It's a family death, and it's helping them and just basically letting them know that I'm there.
Right.
You know that hey, because they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hey, I got you, and we're gonna get through this. And they're like asking questions. I'm like, yeah, that's what I do.
And you genuinely care, which makes a
Yeah,
difference.
it's challenging, but it's a lot of fun.
Did you go to school to college?
No, I didn't.
I just realized I've never ever asked you that.
I did
guess
not.
I just assumed you didn't. A lot of people who go straight into sales don't, I guess.
I didn't like high school. High school was a place where I went to meet my friends so we could leave and go hang out at the park. I just always knew I wanted to do something with people, and I just felt like, back then I just felt like you couldn't teach me that kind of stuff. What I wanted to do, I just wanted to do something for people. I didn't want to be a doctor. I didn't want to be a lawyer. The things that that you had to go to school for. I just didn't like school. So,
Yeah, I really hated school.
So I was
was terrible at it.
Yeah, I started with customer service jobs and just kind of worked my way up. It's worked out so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, college isn't for everyone. That's
Yeah.
okay. If you weren't doing real estate, what would you do? Do you know what you would be doing?
Oh no, I have no clue.
Like nothing.
I'd be, I don't know. I'd be in Mexico renting wave runners to Americans.
I meant more so.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I meant more so as an occupation.
No, I don't know. Growing up, my grandfather was police chief, and I always wanted to be a cop growing up. And then I kind of realized that they don't make a whole lot of money for all the stuff that they go through.
I also feel like you would just be like, I pulled you over, but it's okay. You're fine.
Don't do that anymore.
Just don't do that.
I'd be doing something, helping people, I think I'd make a good cop, to be honest, but I don't know. I'd be doing something helping people, but I have no idea in what capacity. Are we shut off?
No, I think I just shut my mic off, but I just have to.
Oh my God.
No, I just did. I just have to check. No, we're good.
False alarm.
I think I always will do sales of some capacity. That or like marketing, I guess, but that's so broad. Sales encompasses everything that I like about certain careers. Yeah. Being in front of people, helping people, talking to people, doing marketing stuff, understanding like how things work and processes and stuff like that. Yeah,
it would probably be a sales, some type of sales, just because.
Magazine sales?
Not magazine sales. Again, sorry, magazine people. But no, it would be some kind of sales, just because I like something new every day, seeing different people every day.
That too, I can't.
And that's what I did like about my last job, is because I was in different things, different shop, different area, every day, seeing different people.
Yeah, I'm very rigid in like my personal health schedule or how I do my morning and night routines. But when it comes to work, it has to change. It has to be able to have flexibility and be different. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, I remember I pulled up to your one client's place to pick up something from him, and he was in this big, huge office building and this monster parking lot. Are you okay over there?
Sorry. Well, let's talk a little bit about how we met and why we're with each other too much.
Oh!
Wait.
Wow. There it is.
I know. Okay.
There it
Every
is.
day, Andrew's like, what are you doing today? You're going to go see Scott?
It was really, really crazy because our offices merged last year, June-ish. No, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
June.
Almost 2 years ago.
Almost 2 years ago. Backstory, my daughter went to Truman State.
Go Dogs.
You went to Truman State. My daughter found out which offices merged, and she said, "Oh my God, you're going to be working with my friend Zoe." And I'm like, "Oh my God, okay."
Who is she? Oh my God, don't
She's
care.
Like, that's Zoe. And so you can see online who's in that office. So I looked her up. I'm like, okay, so I'll say hi. And went in, and I didn't even know if you even know who I was.
I knew who you were before we merged. I feel like okay. Well, it's because Mara knew, because everyone in my sorority knew that I wanted to be a real estate agent. So once I moved here and started getting things going, she was like, you should reach out to my dad. He goes to networking things and he's involved in the community. And I was like, yeah, okay. I'm not going to do that, because when I started real estate, I was very introverted and shy. I have grown. That's a lot different now, but I was way too scared to do that, and I was taking very small steps. Anyway, so I knew who you were, but I remember we had one of our team meetings, and my broker at the time was like, we're merging with this company. Their name is also Schneider, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that might be where Scott and Angela work. Angela is another agent that merged with us. She also went to Truman and was in my sorority. But I was like, but I don't really know. And then I remember my broker at the time talking about how one of the gals was pregnant and then said the name Scott, and I was like, oh, that's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool. And so a new office, and I'd go in there, and I just kind of got to the point where I'd go in and do some stuff, but I kind of just kept to myself a little bit and
then I started coming in to be like, hello.
I was kind of working in the conference room. I'd kind of go in and set up in the conference room, and you kind of would set up in there and hanging out, and it was cool. And I really liked it because, like I said, I was at a point where it was kind of like, business was business and it was all good, but you were fairly new, kind of re-energized me. And
thanks.
And I did. I enjoyed that because everybody else around was, had been in it for a while. Everybody that from my office, my previous office, had been in it for a while, so no big deal. You're coming around asking a lot of questions, and I was like, it kind of gave me a boost, which I thought was awesome.
I think also a lot of people think that we purposely were like, we're going to start working together. But it just happened that way.
It was organic.
Yeah.
I think it had a lot to do with your relationship with Mara.
Yeah.
You were just curious, and you really just kickstart your business.
Yeah, and for some reason you picked up the phone every time I called.
It was great. I enjoyed it. Still enjoying it. Making me do stuff that I don't really want to do.
He wanted to do. This was his idea. This was your idea. What else should we hit on today?
Our styles.
Of how we work? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that too. I think that's a big reason why we clicked well is because our personalities are similar, and especially the way that we approach business. Obviously, we take things seriously and know when things need to be very direct and no giggles, but we also are very personable, I think, which is something that our clientele likes us for. I have been told, at least. Yeah, because this is a big transaction for most people, the biggest one, as we always say, and it should be taken seriously, but it also doesn't need to be so stiff. Making things fun, like us making things fun, I feel like takes some stress off of the whole situation.
I decided, it's funny, I was thinking about this morning. Literally when I was a teenager, I remember this. I decided when I was a teenager that fun was free. And I think I get this from my mom and my dad. Fun is free. If you can't have fun, what can you have?
Yeah.
Because you could just be two people in a room and you can have fun. You don't have to have anything else in the room. You can just have fun. I'm going to have fun no matter what I'm doing. But I'm going to be serious when it's time to be serious.
Yeah, it's the only way that you can actually have a legit business.
Yeah. When it's time to help my clients spend their money, I'm going to get serious. When it's time to negotiate, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna get serious when it's time to get serious. But I'm gonna have fun, and we're gonna laugh, and we're gonna be stupid, and we're gonna be silly. And I think clients appreciate that. And you're the same way. I can tell that when I'm out with you working with clients, when you're on the phone, you bring the same energy, and I love that. So, and I think that's why we mesh pretty well together. So it was funny because we were sitting in that conference room that one day, and out of the blue, you just look at me and go, "I want to make a TikTok."
Oh.
And I was like, "What?"
I'd been wanting to ask you for a while, but I was like, is he gonna think it's super freaking weird? But then I was like, it's Scott.
Yeah, I have no shame. So you can tell. But I was like, "What?" I don't even know what that is. I know what it is, but I don't know how it works. I have no clue. And you're like, "This is how you do it." And I'm like, "Okay." And I thought I had to learn a script. And you're like, "No, you just have to mouth the words." I'm like, "Oh, really? Seriously?" And you're like, "Yeah." So you showed me this thing, and we literally did it right there. And it blew up.
What one are you talking about?
The Office one, where you shot the rubber band on my head.
Oh, I wouldn't say it blew up.
For me, it blew up.
Okay, yeah.
It was my first one.
It got, hold please.
It got a whole 12 likes.
It got, whopping 200. Pinned it, 506 likes to date. That is pretty good.
That's pretty good for my first one.
Yeah. Yeah, our dynamic is silly. I think people find humor in that.
Yep. So you're still waiting on a compliment.
Oh. Oh, shoot. Well, I've told you this before, that obviously I come to you with a lot of real estate questions. Probably some personal questions, like personal life questions. I don't know, mostly real estate, but I feel like you just do a very good job at making people feel grounded. So if I feel like the world is spinning in a bajillion different ways, you kind of bring me back to center, which is something that not a lot of people are actually naturally good at.
Oh, thank you.
Like if I compared myself from last year to now and what I freak out about, I really don't freak out about anything. It also could be the ashwagandha that I take to eliminate stress, but I do think that happens. Ashwagandha? Do you know what that is?
No, but I might need some.
It's I'm pretty sure it's like just a leaf. I take it in pill form.
Just go outside and grab a leaf.
No, like you have to get it from a pill, but it helps alleviate stress, but it also can make you, if you take it too much, make you kind of just numb to any feeling ever. Oh. So I have to stagger it a little. Anyways, you've helped me be purposeful in, I think, my business and what I freak out about and not freak out about.
Well, happy to help. I think we definitely complement each other. But no, I think it's a great dynamic, and I think it's a great pairing. And everybody's like, "Are you guys a team?" Not necessarily a team. We pair up on stuff, and we work together on a lot of stuff, and it works out great. You do your stuff, I do my stuff, and we meet in the middle, and it's been a great thing that's worked out.
Yeah, I think that is good. Did you have something else to say?
No.
Essentially, the goal of this podcast, a lot of things we do is in hopes of growing our business, but honestly, mostly I think it's just to make people smile, maybe learn a few things.
Have fun.
Help us teach each other things as we go along, and we hope you find some joy in it.
Just want to spread joy and ashwagandha,
or
whatever that stuff is.
You can buy it off Amazon. Bye.
Bye.